Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Caleb with BNC Pokemon. Today we're going to be doing a goofy deck profile, a more fun deck profile of a deck that's pretty near and dear to me. Me and my friend Nathan kind of put this together one day, just kind of hanging out. I've been meaning to do this for about a month. It is Rowlett and Alolan Exeggutor GX. So, here are our first three guys and the stars of the show. They have the attack Super Growth. It's free, costs no energy whatsoever. If you have a benched grass Pokemon, any of your benched grass Pokemon, you can search for something that evolves from them. And then if they evolve again, you can search for that evolution as well. Place that on top of it. Really reminiscent of Forest of Giant Plants, which we all remember terrorizing us with Vileplume. So that's scary to think about expanded with this guy. So basically, this is the only attacker in the deck, and this is the star of the show. He's always going to be active if the game goes well. Everything else from here on is support Pokemon, so I'm going to go ahead and start showing you those. So we play a 1-1-1 line of Bonesweet, Serena, or Steenie, and Serena. What Serena does is has an ability called Queenly Reward. I think it's what it's called, Queenly Reward. Once during your turn, you can put a basic grass Pokemon from your discard pile to your active grass Pokemon. It's like similar to Malamar, and this guy's always going to be active. His attacks cost, I should have talked about his other attacks first. Calming Hurricane, 2 grass energy, 1 colorless, 150 damage, heals 30. He's a tanky boy at 270. Tropical Hour is 3 grass energy, and it does 200, but if you've got 3 additional energies on him, your opponent has to shuffle all of their energy back into their deck, which can just cripple and win a game pretty automatically, if you can get that off. It's difficult to get off, but if you can, you've typically won the game. The next support Pokemon we play is going to be a 2-2-2 line of Swaddle, Swadloon, and Leavanny. Leavanny's another star of the show. He's got Blanket Weaver. Your active grass Pokemon take 40, or all of your grass Pokemon take 40 less damage from attacks. Unfortunately, it doesn't stack, so you don't really want to get 2 Leavannys out unless you feel that one is going to be leaving the field soon. It doesn't stack, but it takes 40 less. His attack heals 30 every turn. He's got 270. We've got some other damage modifiers. You can kind of start to see the deck take shape here. So, Leavanny, Serena, here to support the big guy. Here's another one that's I'm debating on leaving this in or not. My meta has a lot of Blacephalon in it, so if I was going to take this to, say, a Challenger or a Cup, I probably would play this. It's a 1-1-1 line, Trico, Grovyle, and let me stop here at Grovyle. Sometimes I like to Super Growth just into Grovyle. He's got Sunshine Grace, which lets you search your deck for a grass Pokemon every turn. That's really fantastic for this deck if you do get a slow start. So there are times when I'm not playing against an Ultra Beast deck, which will make sense in just a moment. If you don't already know, that I will still use Trico and I'll still get Grovyle out just to search these Pokemon out. You can search out, say you are holding one of the middle evolutions in your hand and you need to manually play it. Search out the last one on your next turn, play it. Search out your other Rowlett and Alolan Exeggutor to power up on the bench. Really, really solid card. And then, of course, he evolves into Sceptile, who has, of course, that ability, Power of Nature. We all know what that does. Prevents Ultra Beast attacks to your grass Pokemon. Totally cripples Blacephalon if they're not playing some sort of tech for that. The next thing we have, again, more support Pokemon. We've got 2 copies of Shaman from, I believe, Lost Thunder. Is where he came from. He's got the ability called Floral Heal. You can just heal 20 damage from a grass Pokemon every turn. Active grass Pokemon, excuse me. So you get 2 of these out. This actually can be used both. Like, you can't lose 2 Leavannys, but you can use 2 Shamans, so you can heal 40 a turn off of your Exeggutor. The last Pokemon we have is a Shuckle. Also from Lost Thunder. He has that ability, Freshly Squeezed. That Orange Cassidy ability, Freshly Squeezed. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. When you bench him, you go through your discard pile. Or excuse me, you go through your deck, put 3 energies in your discard pile, 3 basic energies, so you're pretty much going to go find 3 grass energies, put them straight into your discard pile, Queenly Reward them back to your, back to him, Rowlett Exeggutor. So in a perfect world, you attach one, you Super Growth on turn 1, you get your Shuckle down, you get Serena and Leavanny out. On your next turn, you attach another one manually, and then you attach the one with Serena, and you're ready to Calming Hurricane on your second attacking turn, which is it's crazy. It's so good when it works. As you can see, there's a lot of thin lines here. This deck is really clunky. That's its biggest weakness. Onto the supporter line, we have 4 Coach Trainer. This is a newer supporter. It's draw 2 cards, but if you're active as a tag team, draw 2 more. So you never want to have anything active in the deck other than the Rowlett and Alolan Exeggutor. So this is almost always going to be draw 4, which is great. That's a really strong draw supporter. 3 copies of Bill's Analysis. So search your deck, or look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Take 2 trainer cards there. That's really good for searching out some of the items that you're going to see later. Sometimes it's good for getting 1 item and then a supporter for the next turn, which is, it's not ideal, but just a great card, great consistency card. And there are cards in the deck that you need to play 2 of at once, and he's a card that helps you find those. 2 copies of Gardenia. It heals 80 from your Pokemon with a grass energy on it. So again, more healing, damage resistance. You kind of see where we're going here. And then I like 2 copies of Erica's Hospitality. I notice that my hand's usually thin when I play this deck. Everyone's filling their bench right now with Dedenes and etc. She's just a really great draw supporter. You could be drawing 5-6 cards. So you're not losing anything. There's no shuffle draw. There's no discard draw. You're just pure draw with Coach Trainer, with Erica, with Bill. So I really love that. You're not losing your resources. You can kind of play smarter, hold them until you need them. It's a fun, challenging deck to play for that reason, and I really enjoy that. On to the items. The only search card we play is 4 copies of Netball. I considered a couple Pokemon communications, but I just didn't really like them. So 4 Netballs, that lets you search out a basic grass Pokemon or a grass energy, which is really versatile. Every single Pokemon is grass. You want to get those basics down turn 1, so no reason not to play 4 of that card. Next 4 is 4 Mixed Herbs. Mixed Herbs is if you play 2, you heal 90 damage or remove all special conditions, but don't forget you can play 1 and remove a special condition if Blacephalon happens to Bursting Burn you or something of that nature. That can be really annoying, so that's a good versatile card to play. And again, more healing, preventing damage, etc. More healing, 3 copies of Great Potion. I started with 4, clunked my hand up, 3 was plenty to get through a game. You shouldn't need more than 3. Experiment with it though, see what you like. 2 copies of Switch, which I kind of want to up to 3 if I can find the space. You always want the Rowlett active, so that's the only reason the Switch is there. And sometimes you can get one damaged pretty low, and you want to switch into a healthier one to continue attacking. And then 2 copies of Reset Stamp. We all know what Reset Stamp does. Makes your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw a card for each of their prize cards. Super disruptive card. And again, the deck gives you really a chance to manage your resources and play the cards when you need to play the cards, and that's just something that can just destroy your opponent's hand and kind of turn the tide of the game as long as you hold them for a late time or when you know they've got something. Really great card. 2 Choice Helmets. Another damage modifier. Your Rowlett Alolan Executor is going to take 30 less damage from any GX Pokemon that attacks it. That on top of the Levani is 70 less damage, and then you've got Great Potions, Mixed Herbs, and Shamans to heal. You can do the math. You're not taking much damage with this guy. And we'll talk about weakness here in a moment. So the other 2 tools I added, and I added this recently, are 2 Stealthy Hoods. I love putting a Stealthy Hood on Levani. I like putting a Stealthy Hood on Shaman. I like putting a Stealthy Hood on Sceptile. In certain situations, sometimes I can put one on the other. Rowlett, this just pretty much is for when you play Ability Zard and they play the Ninetales and they want to discard the 2 fire to pull something up. This stops that from happening. You can still get Custom Catcher, which is still frustrating and is a problem for the deck. Losing all these support Pokemon makes this guy a lot weaker. So Stealthy Hood kind of helps solidify that they get to stay on the field. Stadiums, we are playing a full 4 line of Power Plant. I want to disrupt Mewtwo, I want to disrupt Ability Zard, I want to disrupt everything that plays Dedenne. I just want to be disrupting, and I want to control the stadiums. I don't want Lysander Labs out, cutting off Stealthy Hood and Choice Helmet. I don't want Viridian Forest out for my opponent. I don't want my opponent drawing cards with, some of the other stadiums. So really great stadiums. This deck is unaffected by it. I don't have any GX with abilities, so super good stadium, super strong, super disruptive. And then 1 Life Force, which is heal 60 from a grass Pokemon every turn. So again, you can see the Life Force, the Great Potion, the Mixed Herbs, the Shamans, the Levani. This is really about controlling your damage and not letting yourself get knocked out, but it's not a mill deck. It's not a stall deck. This is an attacking deck. You're doing Calming Hurricane, which is another thing that heals 150 damage, can 2-shot a lot of things. The GX attack does 200. This deck does take prize cards. You are taking prize cards with this deck. And the deck plays 5 Grass Energy, just 5 basic Grass Energy, and 2 Weakness Guard Energy, so that you don't get one-shot by some of the fire Pokemon, which are really popular out there right now. And I've already said it, but yeah, biggest weakness is the clunkiness, and getting set up. Its strengths are that it's just really hard to take knockouts, and that once it's set up, it has a really smooth engine When it works great. And all the damage modifiers and stuff, they actually give you some time to set up. And having the free attack for super growth. If you don't have energy turn 1, you can still super growth. Is pretty crazy. And it just allows you to pull off some cool things. This is a deck that you can really experiment with. There's some new cards coming out I want to experiment with. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you think it sucks, if you think it's great, if you've made your own builds. Shout out to Nathon Trimberger. Me and him worked a lot on this deck together. I think he made a video as well about it. I'll link that in the bottom. And yeah, you guys have any questions, I'll definitely answer them. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, really appreciate it. I'm brand new. This is my first video, so thank you guys a lot. This is Caleb. Ben's on the camera.
Hey!
This is BNC Pokemon. We'll see you later.